Hey guys, it's Charlie G. I want to cover these 5 things that you should be doing if you are in your 20s. We know in your 20s, life is a bit more serious, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. But it's very important that you start planting these seeds in your 20s, so that way in your 30s, 40s, you can have a good foundation of your life overall. So these are some of the 5 things I think it's very important to think about when you are in your 20s. Get a bank account. I know I said this in the teen video. However, if you haven't gotten one already, it is not too late. It is never too late. If you don't have a bank account, do it. It's just an easy way for the digital age now for you to transfer money here and there and just move things around. So it's very important that you have a bank account, have a checking and savings so you can spend money and also have ability to save some form of money. Open an investment account. So look into all the different investment accounts. Today there is Robinhood, which are free. When I started investing at 26, I was paying $5 a trade with Charles Schwab's, but now it's pretty much free. I also have a Robinhood bank account and I have an IRA with Charles Schwab's, and a good chunk of the money is there. My first investment was with a medical company. I bought $1,000 worth of shares because that's all the money I wanted to play around with. I had more saved up, but because I'm new to the market, I didn't have any book. I wanted to figure out exactly how this thing worked. So I took $1,000, looked at a few companies, and I saw a company just plunge over the course of like 2 months. I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity, because if a company tank like that, that means it's opening doors for you to buy. So when it gets back to its original price, we can really profit. And that kind of happened. So my first $1,000, within 2 weeks, the shares went from $2 to $2.40. So that's a 20% gain, right? So my $1,000 now is $1,200. I was so happy. I'm like, man, I kind of figured it out. I was wrong. So the thing dipped back down again, and I'm here waiting. I'm like, no, it's gonna shoot back up. It went all the way down to $1.50. I was like, shucks. So my $1,000 was worth $750 at that point. But it's not bad. It was just $1,000 compared to what I have now. I know some people, 1,000 might be a lot, but it's something that you can really make a lot of money from, which is the stock market. And I started pretty young. I have profited over $1,000 from the stock, and that is a combination of my IRA, HSA, as well as my regular stock portfolio. For some people that might not be much, for some people that might be a lot, but that is my own financial path that I set for myself, and I feel very accomplished because it is a bit more than I anticipated that I would be able to profit off the stock market. And I've learned a lot too. I've learned to tolerate the fear of trading, because the reason why people sell shares of stocks is when they fear a company is going to tank. The stock market is like a fortune teller of the future of a company, and it's based on people's judgment. Doesn't mean it's going to be true. It's based on their judgment. If it ends up not being true, and for some reason the company excels at what it does, they're going to miss out on that boat if they sold their shares. However, if they held on to it and not let the fear and panic affected them and they held on to it, they're going to make a huge gain. And that is what happened to me too. Like during different times and periods where people were fearing and panicking, I looked at it as an opportunity to buy a stock at a huge discount. And then when it came back to its original price where it's leveled off, I ended up making a huge killing. It's very important to start investing as early as you can. If you fail, it's okay. You can pick yourself back up and continue to learn, reiterate, and you're gonna get good at it. Anything you practice at, you become better and better at it. And so it's very important that you just start and just go for it. Number 3 is a credit card. A credit card, you need it for everything. Like, you're trying to get an apartment, they gotta run your credit. You're trying to buy a house, of course, they have to run your credit because that's a 30-year commitment if you're taking a 30-year mortgage. You're trying to get another credit card. They want credit. So how am I supposed to get credit if I never had a credit card, right? The way to do that actually is see if you can get a family member to add you onto their account, and then what happens is you whatever they're spending and their credit is building, your credit is building as well until you can apply for a credit card on your own. Usually that's the way it works. It's pretty much having a co-signer. That's the way to start getting into it. Definitely try to find ways to get a credit card if you don't have one already, because it just helps you with everything else you have to do in life. Getting a car, you need some form of credit and having a good credit history. Even if you have X amount of money to be able to afford the car and make the payments, if you don't have no credit history, you won't qualify for it. It's just the unfortunate news. They want to know that you're trustworthy, you're responsible, and it just teaches you that as well. Like, you spend this much, you have to pay this much back. And I always encourage you to pay the full amount at the end of the month. So whatever the full statement is, unless it's 0% interest, because you don't want to overpay more than what you spent. Because these credit cards companies, they're making money from the merchants, from the transaction. And on top of that, they have your data of your shopping behavior or your spending behavior, which they use to funnel more money for themselves as well. So it's very important that you just get a credit card and just start building that credit for yourself. Work on your career that you want. And it's okay if you see that you can't get there as fast as you can. It may start with internships or working for free, but if you love a certain career and you've tried it out, the internship is a great way to start, because it gives you the experience to see if it's something that you really want to do, that you're passionate about, or if it's just a hobby that you just want to do here and there. But it gives you the ropes and opens up your mind to seeing all the potential that you do have. So try different career paths if you have different passions, but work at the careers that you want. It doesn't have to be a single career. I know we're programmed to just think about having one career, but it really, to survive in America, and I feel like to excel, you have to have multiple ways of getting income. And these things that you do in your 20s can help supplement that. So you may have your main job, but this thing that you've been working at since you were in your teens or your 20s, you can make some side money off of it, so that way you can reach your financial goals even further, even faster, and reach even further in life as well. So work at as many careers as you know that you're good at, and only if you're good at it and you're passionate about it too. Don't do something that you're hating, or you see that is not working out for you. It's good to experiment with those different careers and learn, so that you see what does work for you and what doesn't work. Because we know here we are all about the hustle. It's all about hustling. That's how we do and get to whatever point we're trying to reach in life. To me, I was a hustler since I was like 12 years old, hustling these candies on these streets. I did it up to the point where I am now. I'm able to hustle for my salaries, for my wages, and all these things. And the earlier you start learning these things, the better you become financially, to make better financial opportunities for yourselves. Which leaves us with the last thing, which is the same thing I reiterated towards the teens version I had of this, is enjoy life as much as possible. These things are all great. Setting up all these financial things for yourself, they're great, but enjoy life. Do yoga if you have to. Take care of your mental self. Be with your friends and families as much as you can. Get different experiences from people as much as you can. Meet as much people as you can. Not everyone will be with you through the rest of your life except for your parents. So it's important that we just enjoy time with people, learn from them. Take the bad that you get from someone, and you know how to kind of come about it and how to approach it. But these experiences teaches you life lessons that is going to make you better at your career, at dealing with people, and learning to manage the good and the bad, because not everything is good and sweet all the time. No matter how good we may be, life is not going to be as sweet to us in return. So it's very important that we get different experiences from different people. Learn from the negative energy that they have given you. Learn from their positive and all the pluses and minuses. Just learn and meet as much people as possible. You know, get out there and just don't really try to box yourself and isolate yourself. Build a network of that you can utilize for the rest of your life. And that network may lose people here and there, but it's okay. That's just how life works. So these are the 5 things that I think is a good foundation if you are in your 20s to really think about and try to execute these things. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Drop a comment. Let me know your thoughts. God bless. Keep pushing forward. Even if these things apply to you later on in life, it's okay. It's never too late or too early to start these things that I mentioned. So definitely take onto it what you can, what you want, what you don't want. Peace, and I will see you next time.